Silence. It's not empty, it's full of answers, and when that silence comes from you, it changes everything. Ignore a woman and she may smile like nothing's wrong. She may act strong like it doesn't matter, but inside she's shifting, questioning, and sometimes even breaking in ways you'd never imagine. Today I'll break down what really happens when you ignore her. And trust me, some of it will shock you. 1. Her ego gets hit first. Every woman, no matter how confident or secure she looks, carries a quiet expectation. If she gives her presence, her beauty, her charm, she should receive attention. It's not arrogance, it's psychology. Attention is like air. It tells her she matters. So when you ignore her, the very first thing that cracks isn't her heart, it's her ego. Imagine this. She's used to you replying within minutes, used to you noticing the little details, her new hairstyle, her stories, the way she laughs at her own jokes. Then suddenly, silence. Your phone doesn't light up for her anymore. You don't chase, you don't feed the invisible flame she's been warming herself with. At first she brushes it off. Maybe he's busy. But deep inside, her ego whispers, wait, am I not as important as I thought? That sting goes deeper when she compares it with the attention she still gets elsewhere. Other men may be liking her photos, staring when she walks into a room, throwing compliments her way, but you, the one man she expected to notice, doesn't. That's when it becomes personal. It's not about attraction anymore. It's about identity. Her ego tells her she deserves your attention, and your silence tells her otherwise. This is why ignoring her feels so powerful. It bypasses her logical mind and stabs straight into that soft spot where self-worth and validation meet. Now she's not just curious, she's unsettled. She replays your conversations, your last text, your last Leo at her. She wonders, did I do something wrong? Did he lose interest? Or is he testing me? Here's where the truth lies. Women don't admit when their ego hurts. They'll act fine. They'll laugh. They'll continue their day as if nothing happened. But deep down, that ego bruise lingers. And ironically, the more she tries to ignore the pain, the bigger it grows. So when you ignore her, the first battle doesn't happen between you and her. It happens inside her, her ego versus your silence. And in most cases, your silence wins the first round. 2. She pretends she doesn't care. If there's one thing women are good at, it's acting. Not acting in the fake sense, but acting in the way of covering feelings with masks. When you ignore her, she doesn't run straight to confession. No, she puts on her best mask, the I don't care face. Watch closely and you'll see it. Suddenly, her Instagram story is full of smiles. She's out with her friends, laughing, dancing, maybe even posting that one picture she knows will make you pause. But here's the thing, those posts aren't for the world. They're for you. It's her silent message. Look, I'm fine without you. Maybe I'm even happier. But deep inside, she's not. She's refreshing her screen, wondering if you've watched her story, checking if you'll break and comment. Every laugh in those videos is a little too loud, every smile a little too staged. It's not joy, it's performance. Why does she do this? Because pretending she doesn't care gives her temporary control. If she shows you silence hurts, she feels weak, but if she flips it and makes you believe she's unaffected, it feeds her pride. It's a defense mechanism, nothing more. And this is where many men mess up. They see her posts, they feel that pang of jealousy, and they rush back in. They break their silence just to prove they're still part of her world. But here's the truth. If you react, you fail the test because her entire I don't care act is designed to see if you really don't care, or if you're just bluffing. The smartest thing you can do, hold steady. Don't feed the mask, because behind that mask is a woman checking her phone late at night, staring at your name and asking herself, why isn't he watching my story? Why hasn't he texted? Why does he seem okay without me? When you ignore her, she pretends not to care. But the harder she pretends, the more obvious it is that she does. 3. She tests you without saying a word. Here's the thing about women. When something doesn't add up, they don't always confront it directly. They test, and when you ignore her, that's exactly what she does. She won't text you straight up saying, why are you ignoring me? That's too obvious, too vulnerable. Instead, she plants little signals, subtle traps to see if you'll bite. Maybe she drops a casual hey after days of silence like it's no big deal. Maybe she reacts to one of your posts or likes an old picture of yours. Sometimes she'll even send a random message that doesn't mean much at face value, like an emoji or a funny meme. But here's the truth. None of these moves are random. Every one of them is a test. She wants to know if your silence is real or just temporary. If you jump in right away, texting back too fast, she knows you're still wrapped around her finger. But if you keep calm, take your time, or don't even respond, that's when she starts feeling it. That's when she realizes your silence isn't a bluff. It's strength, and the more she tests, the more it reveals about her state of mind. A woman who doesn't care won't test. She won't send signals, won't drop hints, won't even bother. But if she's still invested, she can't help herself. Her ego needs proof that she hasn't lost her grip on you. This stage is critical because it shows you where she really stands. If she's firing off little tests, it means your silence is working. It's pulling her out of comfort, forcing her to reevaluate. And when she notices that her usual tricks don't hate you, something shifts inside her. She starts to respect you more. The key here is patience. Most men fail at this step because they panic. They see the bait and they bite instantly, giving her back the power. But the strong man holds steady. He answers when he feels like it, not when she demands it. He doesn't rush, doesn't chase. He lets her wonder, because in female psychology, tests aren't about the question. They're about the answer, and when you ignore her subtle games, the answer she gets is louder than words. You're not desperate, you're not waiting around, and you're not afraid of losing her. That truth more than anything is what makes her chase harder. 4. Her curiosity turns into obsession. At first, being ignored is just confusing, but with time, confusion turns into curiosity. And curiosity, if left unchecked, grows into obsession. This is the stage where your silence stops being background noise and becomes the center of her thoughts. Picture her lying in bed at night, scrolling through old messages, wondering why your name isn't lighting up her screen anymore. She thinks about the last time you talked, what you said, how you said it. She starts replaying moments in her head, trying to decode clues. Did she miss something? Did she push too hard? Did she do something wrong? The funny thing is, during this stage, she talks less about you to others, but she thinks about you more. She won't admit it, because obsession feels like weakness, but inside she's restless. Every time her phone buzzes, she hopes it's you. Every time she checks social media, she scans for signs of you. Even small things remind her of you. A song, a place, a random memory. And here's the twist. Obsession doesn't always look like love. Sometimes it comes out as irritation. She might complain about you to friends, saying you're distant or acting different. She may act annoyed like she is over you, but underneath that, irritation is obsession in disguise, because if she truly didn't care, she wouldn't even mention you. Your silence has created a vacuum, and in psychology, a vacuum must be filled. She fills it with thoughts of you day and night. The more you hold back, the louder those thoughts grow. And soon she's no longer just curious, she's hooked. This is the stage where you see women doing small, almost desperate moves. She might comment on your post just to catch your eye. She might suddenly appear where she knows you'll be. Or she might just send that accidental text meant to spark a conversation. These aren't coincidences. They're signs of obsession bubbling over. But here's the catch. You can't feed the obsession too quickly. If you break your silence now, all that build-up collapses, the tension dies, and she goes back to comfort. The real power lies in letting that obsession grow until she's the one reaching out fully, not halfway. Because once a woman moves from curiosity to obsession, she's no longer testing, she's chasing. And that shift, that's where everything changes. 5. She tries to flip the game. At this point, when your silence is too strong to ignore, she'll try one last move, flipping the game. This is where she attempts to regain control by using the same strategy on you. If you ignore her, she'll ignore you back. If you go silent, she'll go quieter. If you pull back, she'll try to pull further. On the surface, it looks like she's over you. She might start posting with other men, hinting at attention elsewhere. She might act colder than usual, sending short replies or none at all. To the untrained eye, it seems like she's moving on. But in reality, it's not moving on, it's retaliation. See, when a woman flips the game, it's not about finding someone else. It's about seeing if you'll break first. It's her ego's final attempt to turn the tables. If she can make you chase again, she wins. If you fold under the pressure, it confirms she still has control. But here's where the balance tips. When you don't flinch, when you let her game play out without reacting, she realizes something important. You're not competing, you're not playing at all, and that realization hits harder than anything else. Because women are used to men folding, they're used to jealousy, pulling men back in. They're used to silence breaking under pressure. But when you don't bend, when you stay calm, she sees a strength that unsettles her. Suddenly she's not in control. You are, and ironically, the more she tries to flip the game, the more she exposes her own feelings. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't bother, she wouldn't need to prove anything. But the fact that she's matching your silence, mirroring your distance, shows she's deeply affected. This stage is tricky for men because it's easy to misread. You might think she's lost interest, that she's moving on. But if you look closer, you'll see it for what it is, a desperate play for control. And the only winning move here is no move at all, because when she realizes the game doesn't work on you, that's when the chase becomes real. 6. She starts valuing you more. Here's where the transformation happens. When her ego fails, when pretending doesn't work, when tests and games fall flat, she begins to see you differently. Your silence has created scarcity, and scarcity creates value. Think about it. When something is always available, it loses its shine. A man who's always calling, always texting, always waiting becomes predictable. And predictable rarely feels exciting, but the moment you pull back, you become rare, and rarity is attractive. Now, she doesn't just remember you as the guy who was always there. She remembers the little things, the way you listened, the way you made her laugh, the way your presence felt calm and strong. But this time she sees those things as special because they're no longer guaranteed. In her mind, your silence turns you from ordinary into valuable. She realizes not every man can detach without anger. Not every man can ignore without bitterness. Most men beg, chase, or explode when ignored. But you stay calm. That calmness feels different. It feels powerful. This is the stage where her respect grows. Respect more than attraction is what makes a woman truly desire a man. Because looks fade, charm shifts, but respect lingers. And when she sees you as valuable, her whole behavior changes. She becomes more careful with her words, more intentional with her actions, more invested in keeping your attention. The key here is balance. Silence works because it forces reflection. But once she starts valuing you, you can choose how to respond. If she reaches out with genuine effort, that's when you decide if she's worth your energy again. If she doesn't, it only proves your silence showed you her truth. Either way, ignoring her shifts the power, and in that shift, her value of you only goes up. 7. She comes back or lets go. This is the final stage and the most important one. After everything, the ego bruises, the pretending, the tests, the obsession, the games, she has to make a choice, and that choice reveals everything. If she truly values you, she'll come back, not with half-hearted texts or vague signals, but with real effort. She'll reach out, admit she misses you, or try to rebuild the connection. That's not weakness, it's honesty. It means your silence worked. It showed her what life feels like without you, and she didn't like it. But sometimes she won't come back. And that's just as powerful, because if she walks away completely, it proves she was never really invested. Maybe she liked the attention. Maybe she enjoyed the game, but she didn't care enough to fight for you. And that's a truth you need. No matter how painful it feels, either outcome serves you. If she comes back, it's because she realized your worst. If she leaves, it frees you to find someone who truly sees it. That's the hidden gift of silence. It doesn't just change her, it reveals her. But here's the part most men forget. Ignoring her isn't about cruelty. It's not about punishing her or making her suffer. It's about discipline. It's about showing that your attention is valuable and it won't be wasted on someone who doesn't respect it. In the end, silence is clarity. It strips away the masks, the games, the noise. It forces truth to come out. And the truth is simple. Either she'll chase you or she'll let you go. But either way, you win. Because when you ignore her the right way, you don't just find out what she'll do. You find out who she really is. And there you have it. When you ignore a woman, it's not just silence, it's a mirror. It shows her feelings, her ego, her true level of interest. Some women will chase, others will walk away, but either way you get clarity. Never forget your attention is valuable. Don't hand it out like it's free. The right woman will respect it, the wrong one will waste it. If this video spoke to you, drop a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And hit that subscribe button for more deep breakdowns on human behavior and relationships. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, and remember, silence says more than